Brent, Tassie Brown, mate. Good to catch up. Always good to see you, mate. How you been?
Yeah, been good, thanks, mate. I just been busy with my show in Tasmania in 2 weeks, Young Guns 2, and then obviously the big announcement that we're about to mention soon. So between them two events, I've been pretty busy.
Let's get straight into it, mate. You got some big news. You've been working on some big things.
Yeah. So obviously, last May I brought down Terence Crawford to Australia before he fought Canelo live on Netflix, and I'm happy to announce that I'm bringing him back after he beat Canelo on Netflix. So the man Bud is a good friend of mine. He's even bigger now. So it was quite popular last time on the tour, but I think it's going to be even better this time. So I'm happy to announce that in Sydney on March 30 and 31, he'll be in Sydney doing a few events, etc. And then in Melbourne, April 1 and April 2, he'll be in Melbourne. So, yeah, that's just before the Easter breakup. So 4 days, that's all we can sort of fit. It's all he can give me, his busy schedule, which he seems quite busy these days, and now he's retired. But, yeah, so it's good to have the three-time undisputed, or three-division, the only man in history, and a 42-0, five-division, and arguably a top, definitely top 10 pound for pound of all time and in the era, Terence Crawford back in Australia.
Awesome stuff, mate. What does the tour sort of look like? What do you got planned this time?
Well, anyone that was a part of the last tour and was around, I worked him pretty hard last time, and he got a bit of a shock. Like after day one, he's like, Tassie, I've got to see tomorrow's itinerary. Billy saying and a few people that was involved in the last one. Yeah, look, so probably a little bit less than last time, but probably less events, but more quality. Like that was my first sort of time bringing a international superstar to Australia. Then I bought Roberto Duran. So I've done it twice now, so I guess a little bit more experience, a bit more wiser, but yeah, he'll be doing a few things. I'll mention a couple. Like there'll be a celebrity basketball game in Mount Druitt on the 31st of March, which Anthony the Man Mundine, Billy Dibb, Terence Crawford, potentially Nick Kyrgios, and a few other people are going to be doing 3-on-3 with 6 teams for the people down there in Mount Druitt. So it'll be good for the community. That's one of the things. I'll be taken into a boxing gym, which I'll let them announce that, and then just a couple other things that we're locking in. And in Melbourne, it'll be at Derrimut Gym down there. The boys from Cavello took over Derrimut, so they're doing something, and then we're going to announce something at the Pavilion as well, which will be good for the fans and a little bit cheaper than the last time, just to probably give people more of a chance to sort of see him. And so I was trying to do things a bit smarter, a bit of quality over quantity, because, and I want him to take him fishing and a few things he didn't get to do last time. So hopefully, he'll be more happy. He was happy last time, but even more happier this time.
What about the magnitude of pulling this off, Tassie? You had him out here before the Canelo win. He was already a star in the sport then, but now he's regarded as one of the best of all time.
Yeah, look, I mean, as I said, I've got a good relationship with Bud. We speak regularly, and I class him as a friend. And it was just a matter of, do you want to come back and do a few things he didn't get to do last time? I feel like I owed him last time a bit because of the way that the itinerary worked. It was just like flat out, not much, didn't get to really probably see as much as he'd like to. And again, to give the people that didn't meet him last time a chance to meet him, and also just the fact that just to show that I can do it as well. I mean, I brought him out before he beat Canelo, now I'm bringing him out after he beat Canelo. So it just shows that what I'm doing, I'm trying to bring, the legends and the champions to Australia, where people wouldn't usually get to meet a Roberto Duran or a Terence Crawford. And so, look, it's a win-win for Australian boxing. you know, Jai, how passionate I am about boxing, and it's been my life. And if I can make a few kids or a few real fans make them smile by meeting one of their favourite fighters, then I'm pretty happy with that.
How big was that win over Canelo?
Yeah, it was huge, mate. I mean, I feel like people probably thought when I tipped him, you're saying that because you got a relationship with him and you're close to him. But I just thought, look, Canelo's a legend, mate. I love Canelo personally as a fighter. But his last few fights, you know, he looked like his punch output was less, and he sort of followed guys around the ring and not cut them off, especially that Cuban. And Canelo's kryptonite has been movers and boxers. Ediston Lara, Floyd Mayweather, even Austin Trout gave him a little bit of worries. The Cuban guy that he fought, Amir Khan, before he got knocked out, gave him fit. So I knew Terence would give him different looks, and I knew Terence would be as strong as him because Terence comes from a wrestling background and he's very strong. And I just thought it's about timing. Terence is on. He's got the Mamba mentality like Kobe Bryant. And I just knew that he'd do it. So, look, it was massive. I mean, to go up 2 divisions, I say 3 divisions because he only had the one fight at 154 against Madrimov. And I think it was his destiny. And, look, he done it all, mate. There's nothing more to be said. I'm happy that he's hung him up because really, who is there for him left to fight? What names? I mean, when you get to the point where you're fighting Canelo or Mayweather or Pacquiao, them sort of guys, every fight's a Super Bowl. There's no Super Bowl fights there for him. Who's he going to fight? Charlo, Caleb Plant, no disrespect to those guys. There's no one there for him. So it'd be good to see a guy finish with his faculties together like Bud has and money in the bank, because we've seen so many guys have to come back for the wrong reason. So I'm really, yeah. So, look, it was a massive win, and credit to Bud for pulling it off.
Tassie, while I got you, mate, talk about some other topics in Australian boxing. Got Jai.
I don't know anything, mate.
You know what? We got Jai Opetaia next week, making his Zerafa boxing debut. Just your thoughts on Jai and where he is right now.
Yeah, Jai is, you know, he's been an unbelievable boxer since the age of 14 when I first seen him. Him and his dad Tap. Obviously, when I had Luke Jackson, when I trained Luke Jackson for the Olympics in London 212, Jai was a part of that team, the youngest ever. And Jai's always been a special talent. What he's done so far as a professional, beaten Breeders twice, especially the first time for a broken jaw, annihilating everyone he's been against. You know, he's just been sort of looking for that 1 or 2 marquee names to sort of get him to that level, and he's been chasing him. He can't do any more than what he's done. He's wanted Ramirez, and he's wanted anyone, you know. And the Zerafa thing, look, I think financially it's been good for him to get the money that he deserves. I'm not sure, and this fight in Vegas on this event is huge, especially coming off the rugby league game there and that. I don't know much about the guys fighting, but I think no matter what, he needs a Ramirez. I don't think Benavidez, if he beats Ramirez, is going to stay at cruiserweight. I've seen something where he might be fighting Bivol on the Canelo undercard in Saudi, so he'll go back down. So, and I think Benavidez will beat Ramirez. So, I don't know. Can Zerafa produce the fighters that he wants? You know, will they deal with the sanctioning bodies like they said they won't? So, Jai, to get what he wants, and he wants it bad to be undisputed, and I'm sure there must have been something in the contract because I don't think they would have signed if they didn't, but can Zerafa produce the belts that he wants? And I hope they do because he deserves it. Then I think heavyweight will be good for him. But, look, you know, we'll wish him all the best in his next fight. He's obviously one of the most talented fighters in the world, and I'd like to see him finally get the credit that he deserves, but he definitely needs a few of those bigger names if they come to the party and fight him. But I honestly think it won't be Benavidez and Ramirez. I don't think he'll have the belts. They'll probably be vacant.
Tszyu, talk of him potentially fighting Errol Spence later this year. What are your thoughts on, I guess, what's happened with Tszyu the past 18 months or so?
Yeah, look, it's no secret that Tszyu's a very, dear friend of mine. I love Tim as a person. He's a good mate. And obviously the history's there with his dad, Costa, who I, visit in Russia and I still talk to regularly after sparring him back in the 90s. But, look, yeah, I mean, Tim is fighting, I believe, to be announced soon, so I won't ruin that for everyone. But, I mean, he's got to get past one more fight before he fights Spence, which I believe he'll do. I think bringing on Mike Tamura is a masterstroke. Mike is the best in the business, and Tim really needed, even more than a new trainer, he needed a good matchmaker like Mike to bring him back slowly. And then obviously Jake Ellis on board. And, Pedro Diaz, I'm actually the one who organised Pedro for Tim. I introduced him and they hit it off, which I'm really happy that, that could happen. And now they've got a good relationship. Look, as I said, hindsight's a great thing, but Tim easily could have been still undefeated. It could have been, I wouldn't have took the Fundora fight, after the Thurman pull-out. They trained for a 5'6" right-hander, and on 10 days' notice, taking on a 6'6" southpaw, I would have come home and lived to fight another day. Then there was the cut, which we know about, which was poorly handled, and that easily could have been, I know Contest comes home as champion, and Terence actually told me that he looked to fighting Tim, not Madrimov, so that was missed. And then, fighting Bakram with the IBF clause and the second day weigh-in and all that stuff. I mean, a few decisions there probably could have been handled better. And I'm not saying nothing to the old team because they were a great team, powerhouse in boxing. But after them 3 losses, something needed to change, and the change happened. So to me, he's got the best guy in the business, Mike Tamura. I think Tim's in a good place. Tim will be world champion again. If he beats his next opponent, I think he'll stop Spence in a great fight. And to even get Spence, what a way to get back in the US market. Spence is a name. He's a champion. He's a legend. But he's coming off a bad loss to Crawford 2.5 years ago. So I think Spence is right there for the taking. And, it's definitely a winnable fight for Tim. So I see Tim fighting for a world title by the end of this year or early 2027, which he deserves to be. The Josh Kellys, the Xander Ziases, I think he beats all them guys. So, anyone that wrote off Tim, which Australians do regularly, write off fellow Aussies, which I don't know why, but it's just the way we are. Well, not the way I am, but the way most Aussies are. Tim, look, back in the day, you take a few losses, the legends, it didn't matter. The Chavez, the Ray Robinsons, the Henry Armstrongs, the Julio Cesar Chavez's, you take a few losses, it doesn't matter. But in this day and age, 1 loss, 2 losses, you're done. I believe he's got plenty left. And the main thing is his desire. And as I said, the new team had to happen. And he's in a good place. So, I think he beats Spence as long as he gets past this next guy. And Tim will be definitely back in the world title mix. No problem.
Now, Tassie, I'm wondering if you've got any thoughts on Nikita Tszyu and that last fight with Zerafa. What did you make of that?
The poorest thing I've ever seen in Australian history. Just what can you say, man? Like, you know what I mean? It's not about, you don't put other fighters down as it gets. We know how hard it is, and you don't put anyone. But at the end of the day, look, it is what it is. Without saying too much, the fellow we're talking about, he called out Tim Tszyu for years, mouthing about Tim, bagging his dad. the fight come and he pulled out a week before the fight. Then he gets back on there again, mouthing about Tim again. Then he gets the younger brother, Nikita. And then he, after the second round, he won round one, Zerafa, but after round two, he must have felt something he didn't like. And all fighters know, fighters that have had their head like this, their face like this, broken nose, like Jai McAllister, broken jaw, 2 places, fights and wins. Muhammad Ali broke his jaw first round against Ken Norton, fought another 14 rounds. Tszyu, bleeding profusely for 12 rounds. Hazim Ruckman, like a head like that, broken ribs, broken eye sockets. Jeff Fennick, broken hands. Fighters beg the referee, don't stop it. Please don't stop it, ref, or don't stop it, doctor. He's a guy that told the ref that he can't see, told the doctor, I can't see. Then when the referee explains it so easily and basically, if you can't continue, it's a no contest, most fighters will go, no, please, I'm good to go. And then just destroys the Australian public, destroys No Limit on that night. George and Maddie, I felt so sorry for them. Ruined Nikita for that night, as I said, because there's nothing worse than not getting that, having a fight, training, and just not getting much of a result. Look, there's no need for it, mate. Like, it's just at the end of the day, it was the poorest performance and excuse from an Australian athlete. And they said, I know Michael, and he's always been nice to me. We shake hands and that, and but at the end of the day, I can only call it for what it is in boxing. I was a fighter. I fought with broken ribs. I fought with, busted hands. I fought with cuts. I was never at the level they were. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, but I'd never give up. I'd never dog it. And all this stuff about mental health, fucking mate, mental health. It's mental health when people suits them. Stop having a soot, guys, because my grandfather fighting the Japs to defend Australia in World War II, he didn't have mental health. So all these guys need to take some concrete, harden the fuck up, and stop being fucking sook, especially if you're in the boxing game. I've lost both my mothers, but my mother and my father through cancer. How's my fucking mental health going? You know what I mean? I don't want to get up in the morning, but I soldier on. So all you soft cocks out there, you might get a bit of controversy from this one, Jai. Fucking harden up. Stop fucking trying to feel sorry for yourself. You're born on your own, you die on your own. Hard fact of fucking life. I held my mother for a last breath for cancer, the best person I've ever known. Do I have a fucking whinge? I just get on with it and I'm doing great things. So it is what it is, mate. If you're fighting, you fight to the death. You fight till your referee stops or you get knocked out or your corner stops it. You don't give the referee and the fucking doctor a chance. So as I said, all fighters are warriors, but sometimes some look for a way out. So look, it is what it is. I'm only being honest, mate. I don't put down any fighter and that, as I said, because I've been there for a long time. But you asked the question, Jai, so I'm not going to sit here and be fake like most of the cunts in boxing Australia. All fucking fake, mate, with their, all bag each other 1 minute and shake hands the next minute. It's fucking disgusting, mate. So, all this stuff, poor this, poor that, mental health, mate. If you want to have a fucking sook, you guys, everyone has a sook. Or just man up. That's it. So that's all I can say, Jai. Hope I didn't offend anyone. I don't really give a fuck if I did, because it is what it is, man. Be a man, or don't be a man. Be something else. I don't know.
Well said, mate. Well said. Last couple for you, Liam Paro, Lewis Crocker. How's Liam's chances in that fight?
Yeah, well, when it happens, I'm very sorry for Liam twice now. Paddy Donovan, Lewis Crocker, two camps. It's hard. I think Paro beats him. I think it's a great fight for Paro. I was talking to Roberto Diaz, one of the best matchmakers in history. As I said, the 145 division is hot. Haney, Garcia, Teofimo Lopez, they're all up there. Keyshawn Davis might be going there. Shakur could be going there. So it's a great division. And I think Liam, when he gets this guy in the ring, just like Big J saying you're ducking him, which I don't believe that. Maybe he's ducking Liam Paro. So Liam wins it when he gets him in the ring, and Liam is another one, a great talent who Australia should get behind more. You know what I mean? He's a very gifted boxer.
All right, Taz. How do people get tickets to this event, Terence Crawford Tour?
Well, look, I mean, when we announce the events individually, there'll be an opportunity to order them. Obviously, you contact me, or there'll be a few ticket sites up. But as I said, today's just getting it out there. Terence Crawford's coming back to Australia. If you missed him last time, this is your chance to meet him. Sydney, 31st of March. Melbourne, April 1 and April 2. So, look, not very often you get to meet one of the all-time greats and a current superstar, and he's been here twice within a year. So, you're not guaranteed to see him back here anytime soon. So, all that'll be announced soon, Jai, but I just wanted to sort of get it out there today. Got a lot of interviews, mate, but had to look after the big McAllister, mate, and credit to you too, mate. You're doing great things, and look, as I said, mate, the bloke's calling you out. He's saying you're ducking, mate. I don't think you are, brother. I think you definitely would go okay, mate. So
got his match, huh?
Well, you got a bit of height and reach on the big on the big J, mate. You know what I mean? No, it's all good, mate. Look, anyone that takes their time to promote boxing, like you guys, you give everyone a voice. It's a great thing, you know what I mean? So, hat off to all you guys in the media that do your thing. And it wasn't around in my day. I wish I was. I might have been even more controversial and had more of everything. But like going back before, it's about just talking real talk. I'm just sick of people all, I don't know, man. If they want everyone to like and want everyone to like, just talk the truth, guys. I mean, Anthony Mundine was the most controversial athlete in Australian history, but he spoke on how it was, you know what I mean, how he felt. Not enough people do get it off their mind. Like, I'm only saying what everyone else thinks, you know what I mean, and it is one of these. I'm always going to be real, bro, and I don't need fake people to like me or love me. I know who loves me in this world, and I know who respects me, and I've got respect from all the top guys in international boxing, which is more than Australia. When I go to Saudi or go to Vegas, it means more for me to have the Roy Joneses and the Oscar De La Hoyas respect me more than just your average boxing fan, mate. But as I said, man, we're doing great things at boxing. I've got another 2 big announcements after this as well for later in the year, mate. So 2 to 3 times a year, I will be bringing your favourite fighters to Australia. This is my thing. Besides my couple of shows a year, this is what I'm really into now. And if you guys support it, you'll get to meet your favourite fighters.
Nice one, Tassie. Always appreciate your time, mate, and we'll catch up soon.
Take care, bruh. All the best. And, shout out to everyone. And, thank you very much for your time.